Hey, it's Lee again. Our technical difficulties with our trigger live feed led to several of you requesting a recap for what we discussed with triggers. So I'm going to go through this real quick, and now you'll have a video for reference. The first thing is understanding what a trigger is. It's a negative emotional response to something. Sometimes you're aware of it, sometimes you're not, and that can express itself both emotionally and physically. There are two types of triggers. There is internal and external. Examples of internal triggers would be pain, fatigue, frustration, anger, and agitation. And examples of external triggers would be specific smells, specific visuals, sounds, tastes, and sensations. And I say sensations, it's not just touch. It could be the sensation of your gear, the feeling of heat on the sensation of heat on your skin. Those are very good examples. There are three key steps for coping with triggers or managing triggers, whether you're on duty or off duty. Number one is the identifying of you being triggered. And there's a lot of indicators. Some ones to really pay attention to would be trembling, shaking, sweating, rapid breathing, feeling faint, agitated, feeling antsy, like you want to jump out of your skin, cloudy, things getting cloudy, and tunnel vision. Those are very good. If you're feeling or having those sensations or experiencing those symptoms, that's an indication that you might be getting triggered. So the first step is to identify. The second is to recenter. Another name for that is grounding. And the last is redirect, or another name is strategy. So identify, recenter, and redirect. And this is an important thing. Even if you are not in a trigger situation, it's good to have this as a resource. It might not pertain to you now, but if you take note of these things, you may need them in the future. And if you're in a state of trigger, your cognitive skills are impeded. This means that as you're receiving more stimulus, your ability to respond is now hampered. So even though these grounding techniques might be silly, they're very, very important for your safety, for your partner's safety, and for the community that you serve. So the more we get honest about our nervous systems and how they respond, it doesn't matter what we do, and we learn how we use tools to manage it, the better we are able to do our jobs. So as Gordon and I were stating, even though we were echoing on the live feed, practice these techniques not when you're triggered. In other words, the more you practice them, the more they become natural, automatic things. You put your pride aside. You realize these are just like you brush your teeth and comb your hair, just like you put your vest on, just like you put your gear on. These techniques are just habits to keep yourself optimized and to take care of yourself. So the first grounding technique we call it the Code 9 Big Sigh breathing, and it's a very simple technique. You can use it 1,000 times during the day. It releases stress, it centers and grounds you, and it also helps with removing cortisol. So inhale, open your mouth, big sigh, and you'll smile too. It's this physiological response. It's pretty cool. So Code 9 Big Sigh. Okay, the more you make the sound, the more you engage your senses, the greater the grounding ability. So yeah, you're going to feel silly the first couple of times you do it. It works. And we have lots of individuals that have taken our Code 9 S.H.A.R.E trainings, and they can attest to this. So Code 9 Big Sigh is the first grounding technique. And the second, let's say you're really triggered and you need something more. You need to engage your senses even more. We call this the Code 9 Rapid technique, where you brush your arms, rub your palms, shake it off, inhale, ready to go. And you say ready to go. So it's kind of a rhyme. It's like a ritual. Brush, rub, shake, ready to go. Okay, so that's the rapid technique. And that takes a total of 5 to 10 seconds. Brush, rub, shake, ready to go. Okay, the next technique is going to seem real silly, but it works. I don't know why it works. It's an ancient technique. It's a mindfulness technique. I use it a lot. It is very useful at the end of your day, transitioning from work to home, or in between calls when you're in your cruiser in your office or whatnot. And it's just called holding your crown. So the crown of your head is right here. You'll place, it doesn't matter which hand, you place whichever one feels more comfortable for you. I actually like my left hand. You place your hand on your crown, close your eyes, and you want to hold this position for 1 to 2 minutes. Seems silly, but works really, really well. If you are very anxious or just your mind is racing, this is a very good way to ground. Okay, so this is called holding your crown, and you want to eliminate distractions for 1 to 2 minutes. Natural breathing. No deep, you can deep breathe, but really it's just holding for a minute. And then the last technique, which is very good for cleansing and grounding, we call this drive your energy down and through. So we call it drive down and through. When you're in a state of anxiety, you're in your head, your thoughts are racing, and your energy is primarily up here. So what you want to think about is driving your energy down and through you. Okay, so we have 4 major points of focus for your energy to drive it down. And I want you to think of either a color or a sensation. Sometimes I use the imagery of water or paint, because paint is like thick and it also has color. So you imagine, let's say that you're washing your thoughts and bringing your energy with the color blue paint. So you bring your energy from your forehead down to your throat, into your chest, down into your solar plexus, and then resonating all the way down into your belly right below your navel. Let that energy settle into your navel, and then allow the energy then to splice down both legs, going down, down, and out your feet. Again, starting at your forehead, collect the thoughts, capture them in that paint, allow the paint then to flow down, down into your throat, down into your chest, down into your solar plexus, and then washing all the way down into your belly, through your legs and out your feet. So we call that driving down and through. And you can use whatever imagery you want, or just you can focus on those areas and feel the energy sinking. So you want the energy to just sink down into your throat, and then plop down into your chest, and then really feel it, bringing it all the way down into your solar plexus, and then finally draining, draining, draining down into your belly, resting heavily below the navel, and then let it flow down your legs and out your feet. So we call that drive down and through. So again, these 4 techniques, big sigh breathing, rapid technique, hold your crown, drive down and through, are great grounding techniques for you to recenter when you're feeling triggered or anxious, okay? If you have any questions whatsoever, please email us. You can reach us at code9project.org. Have a great day and take care of yourselves.